Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to the 2022 Craft Challenge for the Multimedia Crafts Digital blog. And this month for April, the theme is Easter and embossing. And you use the hashtag AprilFave 2022. And you can choose from at least 3 of these prompts. And it could be embossing powder, glitter, glue gun, and glue, glossy accents, wet media such as embossing pen, ink, paint, etc., embossing folder, machine, paper, or you can emboss without using an embossing folder. And I've already got a video on that on YouTube. So let me show you what all I made. This right here was already made. This was the technique that I used. I had embossed. I made some impressions without using the heating gun on this one, and you can check out that video, and I'll have a card up above where you can learn how to do that. And I decorated this little envelope using the I think it was the Easter ephemera sheet for April 2022 on Facebook, because there's 2 freebies, one from the Facebook page, and then there's also one on the Multimedia Crafts Digital blog. So this was the freebie from the Facebook page, and then here's the freebie, the Floral Pocket, on the blog. So yeah, really simple, and it all kind of matches with all this stuff. It has like an Easter theme kind of deal going on. So what I did today, let me just move these out of the way, because these were already made, and this is just, I'm just showing you the freebie that comes with this month's kit. So what I did today for the challenge, for this style of embossing, is I used embossing folders, and I also used the heat embossing. So I created this little like Easter bunny type deal with, it's like a 3D little setting with the Easter bunny amid the Easter eggs and stuff, and you have a little sheen going on, some glitter. I did use glossy accents, and I did use embossing powder and embossing folder and cardstock. So I'm trying to show you the eyes and the sheen that comes with it, if it'll show. It's not real shiny, but anyway, those have glitter on it. And then I did this little pocket right here, and I stitched along the edges, and I had embossed it with an embossing folder, and then I took a embossing pen and just kind of went over the embossed areas, and then I took a heating gun and some detailed snow or white color embossing powder, and then that's how I got the white imprint over top of the embossed images. So it's like double embossed. And then I made some little flowers. I just took some different pattern paper and embossed some of them, and then created like some little flowers or whatever. Some of them I went on ahead and built up, and then others I just kind of left alone because I might use them for something else. So that one was, this one was heat embossed, and I used the embossing folder on it, whereas this one was just the embossing folder. A lot of these were just the embossing folder. So and I'm probably going to add these to, I'm working on a little book, so I don't know, I might add it to this right here. I've still got a long way to go. So we'll see. When it's complete, I'll show you this. So let me go ahead and show you how I made all of these. And I've already made something using this technique without using an embossing folder nor a heating tool. So we're going to go ahead and actually use an embossing folder and a heating tool for this form of embossing. So, and I'm also going to be using some this die cut machine to emboss, and I'm going to make some flowers using the Tattered Florals by Tim Holtz. So let's go ahead and get started. First, let me move this over, make some room on the table. Set this here. And the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to take some scrap papers. Actually, what I should probably do, I have some pattern paper, different colors and shapes, some pattern, some solid. So I want to make various flowers. I'm going to be really focusing on making quite a number of flowers. So using this big die, you can cut through multiple layers of papers and fabrics and things like that. So let's go ahead and get ready to do that. Let me slide this up so you can see a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to move my magnetic plate out the way. Go ahead and get my die. I got my bottom plate, or B plate, and then I got my die, and then here's a sheet of paper folded over in half, and then I'm going to put, I'm trying to think, do I want to make, I'm going to make these into flowers too. What I'll do first is, let me see, I'm going to make sure this can become a flower, so I'm just going to cover these up like so. Let me turn it like that. Then I'll put this on top, and then I'm going to put this pink on top. It's double-sided, so you can't go wrong with that. And then I'm going to put my A plate on, or the cut side, and then we're going to go ahead and die cut these multiple layers. Now, I've learned over the years that sometimes when you're cutting multiple layers, you might need like an extra, I think it's called a shim. It kind of adds more pressure. So I'm just going to feed it back through again. I'm using this paper as like an additional shim. You shouldn't have to go over it more than one time. Just one pass should be enough. But since I've got multiple layers, I want to make sure this stuff's getting cut, and cut real well. Now, some of these flowers did cut pretty well, but then some of them, like this pink layer, oh, it did cut. Yeah, it didn't cut all the way through though, so I'm going to leave that one on there. And the ones that did cut, I'm going to go ahead and remove them, or try to remove them anyway, without making a big mess. I'm trying to hold this in place because the good thing about a big die is you can cut multiple layers at one time, but it's hard to, if one layer didn't cut too well, it's hard to see specifically where to put it back at so that you can cut it again without messing it up. So I want to go ahead and move these layers that did cut properly. And I'm going to run another pass for this layer that didn't cut properly, which is this flower right here. And I want to focus on the area that didn't cut too well, which is down in here. So I'm just going to add another scrap paper right there and send it back through. Hopefully I don't mess it up. That helped a little bit. Oh, see, that's still not all the way. I may have to, I'll just have to use my scissors on it, which is fine. And we're going to be embossing some of them pretty soon. So I'm just going to set that there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out another set with this pattern paper. Okay, so I'm going to use, starting with this little Rabbit by Doris. It's a, let's see, what is it called? I don't know what the name of it is. Easter Bunny. Yeah, here it is. Here's the title. Easter Bunny by Doris. I'm going to use that one, and then these cute little lanterns called Lanterns in Trees. So I'm going to be using these two. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to emboss this image, this bunny rabbit image, 2 times. And I'm going to fussy cut out a portion of one image and then keep the other image. Haven't used this one yet. And this is one of the ones I got in at Hobby Lobby. One of the last few things I got in at Hobby Lobby a few years ago. So I'm going to use some white paper, and I'm just going to make sure it fits in here. And I'm going to have to use my extended platform because for some reason it seems like my magnetic platform is just a little bit thicker or something. I'm not real sure, but it seems like there's just a slight thickness in the magnetic platform, and when I try to run it through, it doesn't do right. So we're just going to use our standard extended platform, and I don't have any extended cutting plates, but I don't really need them either because these will work. As long as your cutting plates cover your whole die or the area of the die that you want, you're good. It'll still work. It'll still go through. So we're just going to go ahead and feed this. And I'm going to go back through twice. I really only needed to do it once to get that impression. So here's our bunny impression. I don't know if you can see that or not. And I'm going to go over it twice. I'm going to do this 2 times. Okay, so we have 2 of them, and one of them is going to be like a backdrop. So what I'll do is I'm going to fussy cut out the backdrop around the bunny. So let's go ahead and fussy cut it out. Okay, so I cut this out. And basically it's going to go over top of the bunny like so. But I'm going to idle it up and color it and all that good stuff. But first I'm going to prep the bunny. Now all this is I have some pink ink that I watered down. And there's still a little bit of leftover coffee in here. So it's got like coffee and pink paint. I'm just shaking it up because it had settled at the bottom for a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let me first spray. I'm spraying this matte. And then I'm just going to dab the bunny into it. And see how it gets like the pink over top of it. I like that. So now I'm just going to dry it. Okay, so that's pretty dry. Now I'm going to add some brown Distress Oxide ink. And I think I'm just going to I'm going to add brown and blue. This is Broken China. And I'm going to add a little bit of water. And then I'm just going to dip this into both of them. Then I'm just going to dry it. I'm just going to add just a little bit more pink for the bunny. But this time I'm just going to paint it on. Now I'm going to fussy cut this out, this part of it anyway, like the upper part of the bunny. I'm just going to take some of this vintage photo and then go around the edges. Then I'm going to take one of these alcohol markers and I'm going to go around the edge with blue. I think I'm going to use a broad end. Let me get some white paint. I'm just going to dab a little bit, and this is going to be for the hair. Okay, so I'm just going to let this dry for a little bit, and I'm going to come back with some glossy accents in a moment. But in the meantime, while that's drying, I'm going to edit this. So I'm going to take some green. Let me just smear some of this green on here. And then I'm just going to shade in some Okay, so now I'm going to go around the edge of this with some blue. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Glossy Accents and glitter. Let's see. And I think I'm going to use some white, some frost, and some mint color, some snow frost and mint color glitter. And when you use Glossy Accents, unlike glue, you don't have any leftover glittery residue that falls all over the place. Usually it just stays contained in there. So that's why I'm going to do that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto here in place. Then I'm going to add the Glossy Accents in a certain place, and then the glitter in a certain place. Alright, so now I'm going to highlight portions of this right here, like the eyes. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to take this embossing folder and I'm just going to put it through here using this green paper. And I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to stick the whole thing in here into the embossing folder. And voila. And I'll probably add some, might add some white on top of these flowers or something, we'll see, or leaves. While I've got the embossing folder, I'm just going to emboss some of these flowers, different ones. Some of them I'm going to emboss, some I won't emboss. Okay, so I'm going to take this Ranger Embossing Pen and I'm just going to kind of go over some of these images and I'm going to emboss it. Some of the raised images, that is. So I'm just going to, first let me go ahead and get the color that I'm going to put on here. And I'm going to be using a combination of, what is this, speckled egg. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, Distress Oxide. Uh-oh, I'm spilling it. I'm using that, and I'm going to be using some of the crackling fire. What is that? I can't see. Campfire. Crackling campfire. I just spilled some ink. Okay, so let me get my paper back out. Okay, so I'm going to take my pen and I'm just going to kind of go over some of the areas of the leaf that needs to get embossed. I'm going to have to try to kind of hurry because there's like a small amount of, there's a small window of time that you have to emboss before your ink goes dry. And there you have it. You have your little shine on there. So I'm just going to go through some of these and I'll be right back. And now I'm going to use some of this white detail embossing powder, Snow. And I'm going to use it on this green on some of the lanterns. And we're going to see how that turns out. So let me back up just a little bit. And I'm just going to do it in steps. And I think I'll leave this as is. maybe add some stamping or something like that in the backdrop. And like I said, I'm going to turn this into like a little what do you call it? Pocket or envelope or something. Okay, so I stitched around the edges. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of brown around it too, just to kind of make it pop and look more natural. Okay, so we've got this, and we're still letting this dry. It's almost complete, or it's almost dry, but we're going to let it sit a little longer. So we have these two so far. And coming back to these flowers, I'm just going to make some of them up. Not all of them. Some of them I'm going to still leave just as they are. I think I'm going to distress the edges of the ones that I'm getting ready to put together. I think I'll use the green because it has a contrasting color. And then I think I'm going to use this pink one. And here's a cute little bow. I'm going to make another one. I think I'm going to use this side. And I'm just going to stress it with some blue going around the edges. Okay, so I've got two of these already made. And I think I'm going to save my other ones, because some of them I may just use by themselves. And then I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But this is what I have so far. Let me try to get these flowers together. Alright, so let me back up just a little tad bit so you can see. Alright, so these are the flowers. With some of them being embossed, some of them not being embossed. And then we've got our little Easter bunny 3D deal. And then we have this embossed. And what I'm probably going to do is add it to there's a freebie that I made on the Facebook page, on Facebook and on the blog, Multimedia Crafts Digital blog and Multimedia Crafts Digital Facebook page. And if I can get it open. Oh, it's already out. And you have a free little, it's a double-sided little pocket, and that goes really well with this. And then you have some, what else do I have in here? Oh yeah, I also added some of these little images. This was from when I was doing the embossing technique without having to use a embossing folder or a heating tool. That was part of the last video. But I added some of the ephemera from the kit that's on, this one's on the Facebook page, I think. Yeah. So, and I'll have the name of it at the top. I can't think of the name of it right yet because I just made both of them like in the same day. So, and filmed in the same day. So, yeah, all of these will probably go together in one of my projects that I'm currently working on. I'm trying to finish up. It's like a little spring theme scrapbook. So I'll let you go ahead and get like a little sneak peek. I've still got a long way to go. But I got a little pocket here. I have like a little journal signature here. And we've got like a unfinished scrapbook page here. Another one. So it's kind of like a scrapbook slash journal. I guess you could call it a lap book. I don't know. Yeah. But I've still got all these unfinished pages and stuff like that. So we have pockets. Another pocket. Some more pages that open up. I've been working on quite a bit of stuff lately. So, yeah, it'll probably go in here because a lot of the colors and stuff will fit in here. So, yeah. But this is what I have for my embossing. So if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos and my blog and my social media sites. And check out the challenge for this month and for the whole year if you like. If you don't want to participate in this month, there's a whole entire year of prompts that if you wanted to participate in other months of the year, you could. So just go to my blog on Multimedia Crafts Digital and click on the 2022 challenge prompts, and you can download it and participate. And I'd love to see your work on my Facebook page. So yeah, but thanks for being part of this craft community, and thanks for watching.